To understand the current momentum of artificial intelligence, we have to look at the physical hardware. This dinner plate-sized chip is what powers OpenAI's GPT 5.6. That massive piece of silicone allows the model to process 750 words every single second. This chart shows the cost of that intelligence collapsing in real time. Frontier models like Gemini Flash and Grok 4.6 are undercutting the entire industry, driving the price of processing millions of words down to mere pennies. We are moving past the era of chatbots waiting for our prompts. Tools like Grok Atbot are designed to act as digital coworkers, actively logging into your accounts and navigating your software on their own. AI has become cheap, fast, and autonomous. It is operating at a speed that easily outpaces our ability to provide direct human oversight. A community project by Hugging Face recently tested this exact problem. They deployed AI agents to autonomously rerun the experiments behind 2,200 top-tier AI research papers. This visualization represents those 2,200 research papers. When rigorously checked by the AI agents, nearly 1 in 4 of these established papers contained claims that were falsified, contested, or completely impossible to reproduce. The models also displayed a phenomenon known as peer pressure. If you put a correct model in a group with a majority of confidently wrong models, the swarm successfully forces it to change its answer to the incorrect one, up to 71% of the time. The standard industry fix for this is telling the model to sample multiple answers and pick the most popular one. On complex math and science problems, that actually backfires, amplifying the confident mistakes. Unguided autonomy combined with raw processing speed creates a massive reality distortion field. The models are rapidly multiplying foundational errors without anyone noticing. This unchecked acceleration carries a massive physical toll. Running data centers at this speed draws extreme amounts of electricity from the grid. The industry's solution is to point the technology back at itself. They are deploying reinforcement learning models to actively manage the power grid of the very chips training new systems. This area chart compares standard, erratic power consumption against that AI-managed energy curve. By letting the system adapt in real time, they achieved a nearly 90% reduction in power limit violations. Smarter energy control means data centers can safely run roughly a third more computing output using the exact same hardware. As the tech sector hits the absolute hard limits of the electrical grid, it is entirely reliant on AI to govern its own massive physical consumption. Beyond the power grid, autonomous capability presents severe, real-world security threats. We are seeing a distinct shift away from unrestricted public software releases. OpenAI recently classified their newest model as critical for cyber risk. That internal classification triggers immediate, strict internal controls. It requires heavy monitoring and entirely isolated testing protocols. The leading labs have reached a threshold where they have to voluntarily cripple their own developmental speed to prevent catastrophic cyber breaches. This friction is creating a rapidly growing sector. Entire companies are now dedicated solely to building mandatory permission layers for autonomous agents. Intermediary tools like Think act as a digital safety net. They allow safe actions through instantly while completely freezing anything irreversible, like deleting files or spending money, until a human approves it. Engineers call this bounded autonomy. An agent shouldn't run a whole pipeline unchecked. It is only allowed to make decisions at specific, tightly controlled checkpoints. But checkpoints only work if you can accurately trace how a model arrived at its conclusion in the first place. We need a way to audit an AI's memory post-mortem. This diagram illustrates an infrastructure called semantica, which stores an AI system's knowledge as a strictly connected, searchable graph of linked facts. Enterprise adoption relies on these rigid guardrails. A model is functionally useless if it cannot be audited, traced, or paused. Which brings us back to that Hugging Face project testing AI research papers. The autonomous agents successfully caught the mathematical errors, but the organizers explicitly stressed that those agents absolutely required humans steering them to function properly. The role of the human is permanently shifting. We are moving from executing every step to strictly managing the intelligence that does it. The cost of generating a thought is approaching zero. Raw ideas are no longer the bottleneck of the economy. Slowing down. Unchecked acceleration inherently leads to a collapse in accuracy and security. The winners of the next technological decade won't be the organizations that build the fastest intelligence. They will be the ones that engineer the most robust safety brakes.